What's up, everybody? Early Stoppage MMA here, and today I'm going to be going over some of the fighters that I'm going to miss and some that I won't from each weight class. We'll try to keep it short. We won't dwell too much, so we'll just jump right into it. Alright. So first off, Brandon Moreno. I'm going to miss Brandon Moreno when he's gone. I think Brandon Moreno is sick. He's fun. He's always playing with Legos. He seems like a cool guy. He's a staple of the division. He's always near the title. Like, whenever a Brandon Moreno fight happens, it feels prestigious. It's like, oh man, Brandon Moreno's running at it again. And I always feel like he's got a shot. Like, he could win the belt back again. He's never too far off. He's just very well-rounded, very dangerous, very talented fighter. And I feel like he's just been a staple of the UFC for so long now that, even when we thought he was falling off after his loss to Royval, he came and bounced back with some very impressive wins after that. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing what Brandon Moreno does with the rest of his career. But he's not exactly super old, but, I mean, we're nearing the end, I feel like, of the run for sure. And I'm going to miss the guy. He was always so fun to watch. It's going to be a shame. However, someone I will not miss at all is Alex Perez. I think Alex Perez is a very boring fighter. He's not, he's been in the division for so long now. He's like the king of Apex main events, or he was in 2023. I feel like it was like every other month, Alex Perez was fighting some random guy trying to break through in an Apex main event. And like, if they were good, it wasn't even like whoever the prospect that beat him impressively, and it was a good like fight and performance. Alex Perez would just fucking get injured, and then they would win, and then they would move on, and it never felt very good. So yeah, there's not a lot of Alex Perez performances I can point to that's like, yeah, there was a lot of stakes and weight that we need to like put into what we've seen here. It's felt kind of like a joke so far. And the people that he does beat as a gatekeeper, he's just keeping people that are more entertaining, like potentially entertaining prospects, out of the top of the divisions for like some fun matchups. So, with no standout aspect of what he does in the octagon, I just can't say that I'm going to miss Alex Perez when he finally does move on and retire. I would love to be wrong. If Alex Perez came back and started, knocking people out, looking like a mini Oliveira in there, like, that'd be sick. But I just don't see that happening. So, moving on from there, we'll go to the bantamweight division with Merab. I am going to miss Merab. Merab is awesome. I was a hater of him when he beat Petr Yan because I love Petr Yan. But I've completely come around. This dude is funny. His fighting style is just an enigma because his cardio is just insane. The dude never gets tired. And then like he has this newfound finishing potential. He finished O'Malley and he almost knocked out Corey in his last fight. Like, that's crazy. What happened? Where did that come from? The dude is the GOAT at bantamweight. I just don't see any arguments against that. Like, who holds candles to this guy and his resume? He's basically cleared out the division already. Merab rules. He's like 35 too, I think. So like, he's getting up there in age. Like, who knows how long he has? It's hard to say in the sport. Like, you just never know. So, I can't imagine Merab's going to be fighting for 5 more years. I'm going to miss him. This dude ruling over the division is awesome. I think it's in a good place with him there, fighting so often. It's great. Yeah. Moving on to somebody that I cannot wait to see leave, Henry Cejudo. I'm ready to be done with this dude. I respect kind of his legacy to a degree, but he's just he's annoying right now. He hasn't been very entertaining either. Like, I don't think his fight against Aljamain for the belt was all that entertaining, personally. His showings have not been very good. They've been kind of poor. Other than hurting Merab, we just haven't seen anything from him that is like really good or worthwhile, notable. He never should have come out of retirement. He should have stayed retired, or he just never should have retired in the first place and kept going when he was on top. I will never understand the career the decisions of Henry Cejudo. It's just weird. Same with him picking like Peyton Talbot for his next fight, or his final fight. It's all just strange. It's just a bit weird. It's a bit strange. I just don't understand it. He could have fought like Figgy, which would have been a more legacy fight against another former champ. Yeah, in the division that he also used to hold the belt in. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm so ready to move on from Cejudo. Even in his last fight, just milking that in the eye poke and the injury with the Song Yadong fight, like, and then being baffled about how it turned out. I think we're all pretty much ready to move on from Henry Cejudo and his space in the sport. So long, Henry. We'll move on to the featherweight division with my favorite fighter of all time, Alexander Volkanovski. I'm gonna miss this man, and it's definitely near the end. At least it feels like it. I think we're seeing Volk taking acting jobs now. He's in the new Street Fighter movie. That's gonna be awesome. He just has Cooking with Volk. He's always doing a bunch of other media stuff. And he seems content with it. He seems fine with it. After this recent, losing the belt and then getting it back again, and him kind of feeling indifferent about it and being like, you know what, maybe I don't need this. I think we're seeing a Volk that's realized, like, I think I'm near the point where I can walk away. But man, while he's been around, like, consistently entertaining, like, this dude's, all of his fights are so fun. They are so entertaining. They're so fun. And like, I mean, statistically, it's like half of them while he's been in the champ were knockouts. Whether he was getting knocked out or knocking someone else out or finishing them. So entertaining there. Even the ones that go to decisions, though, are very entertaining. I'm thinking of, like, all the Max fights and, like, the Brian Ortega fight, the first Islam fight. Like, this dude is so well-rounded. It makes his style so good. He's in the fight with anyone that he fights just because of how talented he is and well-rounded he is. He was super active, not so much recently, but I think that's fine because, spending time with family, he's a bit older. He just came out of that fight with Lopez where he, again, took a lot of damage, and he's learned not to take a fight so fast after a brutal performance like we saw against Topuria. So, yeah, I think, dude's the GOAT of the featherweight division. It's going to suck. It's always sad to see, like, a GOAT walk away from the sport anyways, and just especially with someone like Volk, who's just a nice guy who loves the sport. It's going to be a sad day when Volk moves on. Moving on to somebody that I want to see leave the division, Yair Rodriguez. I wish I could like Yair Rodriguez. He has a very, like, he's got a good style on the feet. Like, his sort of karate, kickboxing sort of approach that he has to fights makes him fairly entertaining, but, like, the dude is so entitled, like, constantly saying that he's deserving of a title shot when it's like plainly obvious that he is not. I mean, just have a little self-awareness and think, I need another fight. I need to win another one before I get a shot. He's been so fucking inactive. So inactive, especially in times when the perfect fight for him does exist and for the division. And even when that happens, then he tends to duck those opponents. He did it with fucking Zabit back in the day. I mean, I know I'm bringing up something from a long time ago, but it's still pertinent. Like, this shit still happens. It feels like he's ducking Diego Lopez right now. Yeah. And he gets preferential treatment. Like, they constantly bring this guy around to fucking headline, like, Mexico cards. And potentially he was going to headline that Mexico pay-per-view. He doesn't fucking deserve to be there. They're just putting him there to capitalize on the market. And that's what really sucks, because it's like, there's definitely better Mexican talent out there to headline these things. And Yair Rodriguez feels like he just kind of takes it away. I don't know. I don't really care for Yair Rodriguez. I'm not going to cry a bit when he is no longer in the division. So, moving on to lightweight. Charles. Who doesn't love Charles, man? Especially coming off the other week. Him beating Gamrot, so impressive. Like, Charles is just the best, dude. Everyone loves Charles. He's nice. He's so entertaining. I don't think he's ever had a boring fight in his modern career. Super respectful of everyone. Just insane legacy. I mean, holding onto the belt the way he did it, he's easily, like, the third best lightweight in history. What is there to say about Charles? So entertaining. Most finishes in the UFC, I believe. This dude is a walking entertainment machine in terms of fighting. So, Charles, when he leaves, God, that'll suck. Watching Charles lay down the gloves might just kill me. But yeah, moving on. Gaethje, get this fucking guy out of there. I'm so sick of Justin Gaethje. I'm also like I don't want to. His recent fights have not been good. People talk about them like they're amazing. The second Fiziev fight was fine. The first Fiziev fight was pretty entertaining, but like the second Fiziev fight, the fight against Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje literally did nothing other than drop Max Holloway the one time, knock him down, and that was it. That was all he had in that fight. Max was the one making that fight entertaining, in my opinion. So like, I don't fucking think Justin Gaethje is as entertaining as he used to be, as we like his legacy indicates. Back in the day, absolutely, but recently, no. He's been kind of whiny too, and like entitled. Like he's like, I deserve the next title shot for beating fucking Fiziev, coming off of short notice, off a huge layoff. That does not get you a fucking title shot. He lost to Max Holloway, who at this point has a better case for another title shot at lightweight than Justin Gaethje does. And he's super inactive. Like, the dude just doesn't fucking fight anymore. Like, it takes forever for him to take a fight now. Yeah, I don't understand it. I think that the time of Justin Gaethje being the highlight is gone, in my opinion. I just have not seen that iteration of Justin Gaethje in years, it feels like. In a couple of years, so... Justin Gaethje, I personally am not going to bat an eye when this guy finally retires. It's nowhere near the level of Dustin Poirier. He is the one that I'm going to miss. He is the one that would take all the fights, that was a dog, was actually pretty active, especially kind of near the end of his career. Like, I don't know. I think that we are at the point now where we can move past Gaethje. Moving on to the welterweight division. Gilbert Burns. I mean, if you were around, you know. 2022, 2023, Gilbert Burns, you know. This dude was just a staple in the division, like top of the division, constantly moving his way up. Just could not quite crack the point he needed to be a number one contender, but man, he was active. He's a super nice guy, and easily some of the most entertaining fights in the welterweight division, in the history of the welterweight division. You know, I'm thinking of the Chimaev fight. I'm thinking of his fight against Usman for the belt. I'm thinking of the fight with Jack Della Maddalena. Like, this dude has some fucking just bangers. He's good at grappling. He will fucking stand there and swing. He used to be so tough. Recently, we've seen a decline, and that's what makes me think it's probably about the end for Gilbert Burns. He's down more in the rankings at this point. Not even a top contender, barely a gatekeeper. It's going to be sad to see this dude walk away, but what a legacy he had, you know, when he was around and at his peak. Man, it was fun. So, respect to Gilbert Burns. I'm going to miss that guy. Moving on, Colby Covington. Get this fucking guy out of here. He is so lame. His shtick is so fucking tried and lame. He's boring. I don't think that Colby Covington was ever entertaining. I will stand on this. People talk about him like he was this massively entertaining grappler. I don't get it. I've never seen that. He had one good fight with Kamaru Usman where they were both just standing on the feet, two wrestlers striking, and it's like, what are we doing here? Maybe I'm crazy. I will give him credit, that was a fairly entertaining fight, but like, I don't think Colby is an entertaining fighter, especially like as a rule of thumb and by and large. You know, super fucking inactive, entitled, feeling like he's always do his fights that he wants, or, you know, his position and how close he is to the belt when he got the fight against Leon, saying he deserves it and shit. So lame. Fuck Colby Covington. Get him out of the rankings. He's just squatting at this point. Moving on to the middleweight division. Jared Cannonier. Someone who does not squat in his position and is fucking awesome. Jared Cannonier has delivered some of the most historic beatdowns we have seen in the UFC, it feels like. I mean, what comes to mind, obviously, is the fight against Marvin Vettori. Jesus Christ. And I don't know who to credit that to. Marvin Vettori for his chin, or Jared Cannonier for his ability to just continually put that on Vettori and just not yield, not stop, just going and going. Super impressive from Jared Cannonier. Very entertaining. You know, he's such a well-rounded fighter with so much promise. It's just a shame because the end of his career has just been plagued by, like, questionable stoppages, weird fights that it's like, why would they give him that? And he's even said that he didn't necessarily want to take them. It was like the UFC kind of forced him into it, like the MVP fight. Like that was a bad matchup for Jared Cannonier at this point. And I just think like what could have been, you know what I mean? Even what could have been with the end of his career, like maybe it would have gone down with a little more dignity to it and less just unfortunate little asterisks that plague every fight that he's taken or engaged in or whatever. So yeah, I just think Jared Cannonier, I'm going to miss seeing him around. And whenever a Jared Cannonier fight was booked, I was like, oh yeah, all right, that's sick. I'm going to tune in for that, and I would make time. And I don't know how many more of those we have left, if we're being honest here. He's like 38 or 39 too, so he's getting up there. I don't know. And we have seen a decline with age, so yeah, Jared Cannonier, probably near the end. I'm going to miss the guy. But Sean Strickland, former opponent of Jared Cannonier. I am not going to miss Sean Strickland, dude. I think the shtick is worn off. I think that it's just, his style is boring. I know some people like it. I do not. I think it's so fucking boring. You could be as well-rounded as you want and have elite takedown defense, but if you have absolutely no finishing potential and all you do is your one-dimensional boxing, that just isn't enough for me. I just don't. I'm not excited to watch you fight. I'm not excited to see what you do in the division. I just cannot bring myself to care. And then the entitledness of, again, feeling like he deserved a title shot when obviously Chimaev was the one who deserved the title shot is just, it's annoying. It really is. I'm about ready to move on from Sean Strickland. So yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Moving on to light heavyweight, we've got Dominic Reyes. This is gone. I mean, I say like fighters I'm going to miss. I already missed Dominic Reyes. Like it's over. It is gone. This, him getting flatlined by Olberg, that put the nail in the coffin. And I think it was all the more devastating because of his legacy. Beating John Jones, standing on that. I fucking stand on that. He beat John Jones. So impressive on the come up. So entertaining too. Like such a good fighter, athlete, and a knockout artist. We had such high hopes for his comeback too. It looked like his chin was better. He looked on top of the world. He looked so good. And then that fight with Olberg, I mean, it was just like, holy shit. It was the same Dominic Reyes that got fucking smoked by a jab from Ryan Spann. And that's just how you know it's done. So I already miss him, but I'm really going to miss Dominic Reyes. It is really the story of what could have been here. And that's what makes it all the more tragic. So, yeah. Dominic Reyes, I'm going to miss you, my man. Jamal Hill. What do I even need to say about Jamal Hill, dude? This guy is so salty. He's just salty. He's kind of a whiner. He complains. His style isn't very good. We talk about him like he's a power puncher. I talked to my friends about this back in the day. I don't think that he actually has that good of power. I just think he happened to knock out, Thiago Santos and Johnny Walker, which, okay, welcome to the fucking club. I don't think that Jamal Hill really has good power. I think, we've seen too, his footwork is terrible. He does not have much to give. I think that Jamal Hill had hit his ceiling so hard and just had the perfect path to get to the belt. I don't look forward to Jamal Hill fights when they get booked, to be completely honest with you. I probably won't going forward unless something massive changes in his game. I'm not going to miss Jamal Hill all that much when the day comes that he finally does retire. Because it seems like he'll kind of be a staple in the division for a while. But, I don't think he's necessarily near retirement, but I am definitely not going to miss him when that day comes. So, moving on to heavyweight. Tai Tuivasa, maybe MMA's greatest tragedy. I'm just kidding. But it is really sad. Tai Tuivasa was always the unlikely hero, just the big boy that got in there and had the party attitude and just, knocked people out all the way up to a fight with fucking Cyril Gane. I mean, what was he ranked? Like in the top 5 at that point? That is insane. Even to think about that, considering where he is now, is nuts. That is so crazy. He was so entertaining in both fight style, but in personality, like incredible personality, so funny. Him getting up on the fence and doing the shoeies is just legendary shit. And I think it's made all the worse by the fact that, like, heavyweight is the perfect division for somebody like Tai Tuivasa, and there's no successor to him. Like, there's no one that even comes close to him. And so if you want, we all want heavyweight to be a thriving division and a revitalized division with, like, a bunch of personality. And Tai Tuivasa carried that in spades. And when he is gone, there, at least right now, it doesn't seem like there will be anybody to fill those shoes with beer and chug them. So, yeah, I'm going to miss Tai Tuivasa. I already do. I hope he locks in and comes back, because it's not like he's super old either, and it's heavyweight. Like, yeah, there would be nothing better than a Tai Tuivasa resurgence, I need to get him back in freaking Abu Dhabi training with wrestlers and shit and learning kickboxing again. That was the best version of Tai Tuivasa, dude. So, yeah. Moving on from there to the final one of today. Jon Jones. I am so fucking glad that this cheater just ducked Tom Aspinall into the fucking ground and then just vanished. His heavyweight run, not impressive. Straight up, not impressive. We've seen that, Alexander Volkov can beat Cyril Gane. Not an amazing win. Cyril Gane's good. I will say that I am somewhat of a Cyril Gane apologist, but let's be honest, for your, like, one real fight, Cyril Gane is not that impressive at heavyweight. And I don't even fucking count the Stipe fight. Like, what are we doing? You fought an old man who had coming off of years off. No. His heavyweight run was a fucking joke. He's barely a two-weight champion, two-division champion. And the list goes on, from wife beating to whatnot. There's not much more to say about Jon Jones at this point. We all know, and now he wants to fucking come back on the White House card. And yeah, I'm just so glad this guy's gone. I really hope that Dana White just has learned his lesson and he just does not give him another shot, and that we can move on from this so he doesn't just sabotage another fucking card or just hold up the division in some other stupid way. Yeah, I'm ready to walk away from Jon Jones. So, what are your guys' fighters that you are giving up on, or that you are really going to miss? And those guys that you cannot wait to see gone? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Peace.